Hello, everybody. Welcome back to End Zone Scoop, the show where sports savvy women discuss the beautiful game of American football. Joining me tonight is the lovely Shona Duthie, who last month I got to see in person for the first time in ages. How are you, girl?
Good. I know you saw me after I did the marathon as well, so I was still hobbling about.
You did well. I'm proud of you. And
Yeah.
you've I remember asking you that night, would you do it again? And it was very clear no.
Uh-huh.
However, what have you done, Shona?
Oh, well, I got FOMO, Liz, right? Stupidly got FOMO. I was like, oh, I think that I've seen so many people because I was in a group, a London Marathon group, and so many people were like, "Oh yeah, we've signed up to do it again, blah blah blah," and I was like, I could sign up to do it again. I'm like, that's a good idea. No, Shona, it is not a good idea because you actually got in, and I was like, there's no way I'm getting in again because I just got in. Oh no, they gave me a spot, but it's 5 days before my hen due. I can't do it.
Yeah, that's
It's no happening.
No. Well, it's great to be back. I missed the show last week. I was full of a cold. And Dana, our good friend, is unable to join us because she's super busy and manic with work. But we're going to promise that we're going to hold up the fort. But yeah, we're very much going to miss your insight, Dana, and your amazing ability to be like, oh my god, breaking news. So yeah, tonight, Shona and I, we've got loads to talk about, from the recent London games to Munich to big trade news and how can we avoid it? The undefeated Eagles. But since it's so fresh, let's start with the London games. Now, Shona, I know you couldn't make the games this time, but for me, yeah, Wembley felt great. I missed walking out of the tube and seeing the stadium and that amazing arch. I'd missed Club Wembley seats, that padded seat and cup holder is the best. And I'd missed the pub that's in the middle of like the concourses and stuff. Yeah, I'd missed all that. It felt great to be back at Wembley. Now for me, Tottenham's an awesome stadium. I love Tottenham. But to get to and from can be a total nightmare. But that aside, the games that we had, they're all amazing. They're all really close. They kind of all came down pretty much to the final minutes. Kind of what's not to love about that?
Yeah, I've never actually been to Tottenham, but anyone who has gone has said the same thing. Like there's no way of getting home from the stadium. Like it's actually almost physically impossible. I think you and Baz ended up telling me you got an Uber, which from Tottenham is
You've been doing that, yes.
not
It's
cheap, not
ridiculous.
cheap. So this is what I loved about Wembley. When I went to the NFL games in 2018 I went.
Yeah.
So a good few years ago. But yeah, I love the London games being in London. Like it's so much fun. But I just can't see myself ever really wanting to go to Tottenham. I think if I go, it'll be a Wembley game, which it'll be the Jaguars v someone, but it's fine.
Do you know what? Yeah, and they've been interesting over the past few years. Like they've like until just now, they've pretty much won every single one of their kind of games. So they always seem to do well in London. I think the backup they've got, and it's just I don't know. It was a lot of fun with them. This is the official year that they took over doing everything from the marketing to the tickets, whatever. I know some people had issues with it, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Now, we do have a listener question that I think is well worth us picking up now rather than at the end like we usually would do. And Shona, I'd love your thoughts on this. So Nigel, he asks, with all the recent talk of a London team, will it actually work as players in the NFL would be moving to another country, which is a big ask? Yes, they would move across the US, but a whole new country is different. So would London end up with the end of career pros and undrafted youngsters?
I mean, it's a really good question, and when I saw it, I was like, that is it's something that people have spoken about quite a lot. Is the crazy logistics it would be to have a team in London full time. I think how the Jaguars do it, they've created themselves as this like London home team, and they come every year. They have a new 3-year contract to play an annual home game at Wembley Stadium. The team are going to reap from that financially. London will benefit from it, and the NFL as well. They're getting more like UK fans into it. I think the way they've got it now is perfect. I wouldn't want a team here full time, purely because you have to have either them playing all home games like back to back in London, which means a team's got to come over like every week, which is a logistical nightmare for them anyway, because some teams have said before, like Seattle, I know they're going to Germany this year, but they've said that traveling to London took a lot out of them and a lot of preparation. I think they left on like the Thursday and didn't leave till the following Tuesday, and then they had to train, and they had to, they kind of want to make sure that they're on a bye week. So that means that any team that travels over to London would have to get a bye week the week after in the States. So I think the way it works now is perfect. And you're probably right. You probably would get people that were, if they've had a full-time London team, would be like, people who were retiring and would be willing to move to London for a while. But I personally don't think it's a good idea either. Sorry, fans just commented on this. I personally don't think it's a good idea. And like I say, I think the way the Jaguars are doing it now is the better way moving forward for the sport.
Yeah, I agree. I think part of me loves the idea of having a team more frequently, but like just pretty much for one weekend, hotels and travel alone for like Barrett and I was like £700-800. And it's like, I can't do that every bloody week. I can barely do that now. So yeah, I just think there's a lot of kind of factors that are in the way. It's exhausting traveling to London every weekend as well. Like I know we only did 2 weekends in a row, but God, that was knackering. I was done by the end of it. Hence why I got a cold. So yeah, I think we're all in the boat that love the idea as it is now, keep it as it is, don't change it. And I think with Munich, that will kind of change that anyway. People are saying, yeah, we're definitely going to get a franchise. I don't know. I'm not so sure. I see us getting a division one day maybe, but not now. A few years from now. Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, and also people forget there was a European division like before, and it totally tanked like after a few years. So you kind of have to think this is kind of being tried and tested before, and you kind of maybe have to learn from history. So maybe just having a team coming over that once, make sure that they have a home game here every year brings that draw into fans to, get involved.
Yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of Munich, now I don't have tickets, sadly. But I remember when those tickets went on sale, there was like literally 2 million people in the queue, and I just closed the browser. I was like, it's not even worth trying to get my hopes built up for. So yeah, no, I'm not going. Are you going?
No, I'm not going either. I'm still manically saving for, my upcoming wedding. Just, my groom's dream wedding as he was a little boy, compared to mine. No, so I'm not going. And the price of the tickets were not that cheap. And it is actually cheaper to fly from Scotland to Germany than it is to Scotland to London, which still blows my mind.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not going either. But I know a lot of people who are. I'm quite slightly jealous and underneath the whole thing. But I think just the travel and getting over there would be quite difficult.
Yeah. And how are you feeling about the matchup? Because and we'll get onto this topic in a moment. But Seahawks are doing great right now. Bucks are having a kind of a bit of a on and off time. How do you think that matchup's going to go?
Well, personally, from the last time Seahawks were in London, you had a ton of Germans coming over because they, for some reason, are massive Seahawks fans. So to be honest, to Seattle, it might feel like a home game, even though I think it's Tampa Bay that's giving up their home game.
Yeah.
So I feel like that the atmosphere that the Germans will create will be absolutely amazing. And it's great that they're getting a regular season game, to be honest, because they are such massive NFL fans. And I think that atmosphere will be fantastic. When I first saw this go up, I was convinced that Seattle were going to be absolutely kicked off the park, essentially, because I was like, there's no way Tampa aren't going to be good this year because they've got Tom Brady back. We've lost Russell Wilson. How wrong was I? Because who knows what's going to happen?
Well, speaking of which, we try and not talk about Seahawks all the time on this podcast, but how can we not? When I think back to the start of the season and kind of where we all were with this team, thinking, you know what, it's not going to be a great season. It's going to be a time to build. And yet, we're top of our like division right now, I think, or we were before like the game. What the heck?
Well, first of all, everyone was wrong about the Seahawks, including myself. They have the defense has completely turned this around, and that is how Seattle are on a 3-game winning streak. Because we kind of thought that I actually thought from the start of the season that the defense would, be the ones that were consistent, and we'd have to, make it work a wee bit with Geno Smith as our quarterback. But how wrong was I about Geno Smith as well? He has
everyone.
Yeah, he has some incredible stats in I cannot believe, we've been sitting him this long with Wilson there. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But I think the Seattle has a lot to thank to their rookies this season, especially Kenneth Walker. He's now came in, obviously with Penny being out injured, so he's an amazing standout at running back. They've got major tools together on the offensive line, which was something that Russell Wilson always complained about when he was there, that they didn't invest in their offensive line. And as soon as they left, they have. But yeah, I think it's coming together quite well in Seattle, and it's actually going to be interesting to see. I'm just loving this season because I'm actually really excited. I have no expectations for them. I'm not thinking, yes, they're going to make the playoffs and they're going to be or I want them to make the Super Bowl. I'm just enjoying it. And I think Pete's enjoying his coaching again because he's now coming out and, doing his usual running up and down the sideline and telling the critics how wrong they were. And I think everyone is just enjoying themselves back in Seattle. And it's actually nice to see. And that's what you want to see, it still is going to be a rebuild year. They've still got a lot of rookies. Hopefully they'll get good defense draft capital next season. Thank you, Denver. But I still cannot believe they're 5-3 on top of the NFC West. Like, it's just blows my mind. What do you think?
That just was not what we expected. So no, it's awesome. And like you say, I think it's because the pressure is off in some kind of way. And yeah, it's working.
Yeah, I mean, you never underestimate John. That guy is maybe Pete, yes, but that John is an absolute wizard. I actually call him like Dumbledore because he just manages to get these like ridiculous trades out of teams, and you're going, how have Seattle done this to a team? Okay, maybe the Jets one with the safety who's out injured. His name is completely escaped my brain. You know how I'm on about? Oh my god, I can't remember his name. It'll come back to me like at the end of the podcast. That's the only one where people have gone, I'm not sure if like Seattle is going to win out of that one. Like maybe the Jets will, but he just pulls it off. And just enjoy the ride, Seahawks fans. That's all I'm going to say.
And keeping it in with our division, how are you feeling about Christian McCaffrey kind of joining the 49ers? Because I mean, that is a big move.
I think, to be honest, that trade, if he stays healthy, is absolutely worth it for the 49ers. He is proving his worth already. I think it's going to work. Obviously, Jimmy G is still the quarterback for them. I think it will be a more aligned, like, sort of team when it's their rookie Trey Lance who comes back in. Because I still have this like weird thing about Jimmy G. He's one good 1 minute and then that next minute he's not, and it's too inconsistent for a team like the 49ers. So I think McCaffrey is lining up with, like, for Kittle to open up a huge spot, like to get, running into space, like, and Garoppolo actually reads that. So it's working in the sense of how they are at the minute, and I think it was a very good deal for them to go for it. Like, if he stays healthy, that guy is a killer player to have on your team. Like, anyone would want
definitely, I think he's a great player, exactly like you say. And for me, I was happy for Barrett. So my husband, 49ers fan, like, that's one of his favorite players. So to have him on his team, he's a very happy boy. Now
they're now 4-4, aren't they? So I think they're 4-4. Yay! So, and obviously they beat the Rams twice now in the space of 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's that's another amazing win over your division rival. And they have I think they have an amazing record against the Rams. So it was good that he was able to
it's
come
like
in. I think it was amazing that he was able to come in and obviously help them with that.
Yeah.
With that win. So it was a good win. I'm not bitter or anything.
No, clearly. Now, it's way too early to kind of like talk about the Super Bowl, but we have to talk about the Eagles. Like, they're looking incredible. They are undefeated. And I'll go straight in with a question we've had from Johnny. He says, do you believe in the Eagles? #fly, Eagles fly. I mean, yeah, with a record like that, how can you not believe in the Eagles?
I think as well, you've got to really think about like how much Jalen Hurts has made this his own team. Like, he's came in and been like, I'm the quarterback now, and this is how I'm going to play it, and I want everyone to like, get on my vision. And they've done exactly that. And they could actually go 10-0 because their next schedule is the Houston Texans, Washington Commanders, and Indianapolis Colts coming up on their schedule. I'm not sure. Has a team ever gone 10-0? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I'd be curious to know what the major like top undefeated record is. I'm sure one of our listeners will tell us.
Yeah, they're soaring at the minute, and I don't see how soaring. God, that's such a ridiculous pun for the Eagles, but but I feel like they are totally on top of how they want to play their football, and I don't think teams are quite knowing how to break them down and to get that win, because they won on, they won 35-13 against the Steelers.
Yep.
And Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown numbers together are absolutely incredible. There was touchdown passes during the game of 27, 29, 39 yards to AJ Brown and 34 yards to Zach Pascal. That is incredible stats for a young quarterback, like hitting that, yardage already. And teams are struggling to break them. Like the defense are struggling to break this down. So kudos to anyone who does it. I don't see it happening anytime soon with their schedule. The next week.
Exactly, that's it. Yeah.
But yes, Tony, I do believe in the Eagles, and I believe in Jalen Hurts. I was a massive, massive, massive fan of him. Massive fan of that draft pick. I actually think he's like the best quarterback out of that draft class. I know like Justin Herbert might have something to say about that, but at the moment he is. You can't take that away from him.
Yeah, you can't deny that at all. And yes, Eagles signing AJ Brown is working out really well.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, football fans, that is all from Shona and I this week.
We just got another question. Sorry, Liz.
Oh, go on, go for it.
Yeah. What teams do you feel need to make a move before the trade deadline? Oh my goodness.
Wasn't that today or was that yes? It's today, right?
It's today. Yes, today is trade deadline day. I'm not sure if any has broke through yet. I'll have a quick scan.
Yeah, we're quite used to on the show having them go live the minute we finish, so that's quite normal for us. But yeah, I don't know. When I think about, I suppose, the teams that are struggling, I don't know. I mean, we're not even that far off. What is the day called where coaches get fired? Obviously, we've just got rid of one today, I think.
Oh, well, there is this trade. Chase Claypool is going to the Bears.
Yes.
And
oh my God, yeah.
The Steelers have received a second-round pick for next year. It's a pretty good deal for the Steelers.
Yeah, I think so. It was not Chase Claypool becoming a Bear is not something I saw happening. However,
no.
Yeah.
There we are, indeed. Oh, and wait, hold on. Bradley Chubb. He's traded to the Dolphins. And the Broncos have got first-round pick, fourth-round pick, and Chase Edmonds.
Do you think they're regretting their move?
I don't know. I don't think the Broncos should do any trades at the minute, to be honest. They're putting a lot of money to Russell Wilson, and I'm so surprised at this though. I just don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. I think teams who I still think a lot of teams are not tanking. I hate saying that word, but a lot of teams are going through the, we're just going to ride out this season and hopefully get good draft picks. Houston Texans. But yeah, I don't really envision that. The Bradley Chubb one's obviously quite a big one, him going to the Dolphins, but I don't really see any other massive names. I could be wrong going today. Who knows?
Well, we'll soon find out.
Yeah, we need Dana. She would rattle them all off.
She would. We miss you, Dana.
Yeah,
Come back. Well, guys, always you can reach out to us on Twitter. We are at Endzone Scoop. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you, and we'll see you again in, I think, 2 weeks' time.